This is my Flower of Life necklace. Do you like it? I made a tiny error in the evolution spirit science, and I wanted to address that before it got out of hand and eventually a geneticist yells at me for sharing false information. The part where I talked about adding additional DNA strands, it's still happening, but in a different way. DNA apparently doesn't add separate strands going up. It adds nodes in how it connects to itself, and chromosomes. So apparently we're always going to have double helix, but in the way that the double helix connects to itself, right now it's still 3% is active, 97% is turned off, and that's changing, and the DNA is still activating. It's still turning to crystalline, and we're still going through this crazy big shift. So everything that I showed you still applies, it's just applying in a different way than I thought. So my mistake, and hopefully you'll one day come to forgive me. I want to talk more about this evolution stuff because this whole shift thing is really crazy. We're actually moving chromosomes as well. We're going from 44 and 2 to 46 and 2, and actually the band named Tool made a song about it. You might be familiar with it. There was this pile of rocks that they found in this temple called Karnak Temple in Egypt. The temple looks like this. These rocks were completely different from all of the other rocks in the temple, so they knew they had to be special, and they knew that they fit together. In Lesson 5, I mentioned Lucy Lamy, and Lucy Lamy had this profound understanding of sacred geometry, because she took all of the stones, and she measured them, and then she went home, did a bunch of calculations, and came back the next day and was like, this is what it's going to look like. And the image that she came up with was this. Let's see if you can see this. And when they put all of the stones together, this is the image that it made. Perfectly. Every rock fit perfectly. What's interesting about this specific image is that it actually contains all three levels of consciousness that we're talking about, the three that we're primarily concerned with, that we talked about just recently. There is so much cool stuff in this book. Like, seriously, I keep saying just go read the book, go read the book. Go read the book. Like, seriously. Go read the book. And here's why. I guess people want to know what's so awesome about these books. In the 70s, there's this physicist who spent his entire life trying to figure out the universe. And right as he was about to graduate, he realized that the physicists didn't know the answer either. They didn't really know what the universe was. And he was like, well, maybe the answer's in nature. So he moved to Canada, and he started meditating, and he started learning about art and history and stuff like that. And that's when he was visited by two angels. And they were like, we are you, relax. And they started teaching him stuff. And they sent him to 72 different teachers and healers from all around the world. A year after that or so, he was visited by a man named Thoth. I could probably talk about Thoth for a really long time, but I won't right now. Ultimately, Thoth also sent Drunvalo all around the world and taught him everything. He showed him all of the sacred geometries of the universe. The stuff that I'm showing you in spirit science is like 2% of everything in the big scheme of things. There's so much details on everything. There's only so much that I can actually cover. So then Drunvalo puts all of this information that he learned in these books. These books are the hardest books to understand ever. Sort of. There's going to be pages and pages and pages that are all like this. And it's just like, and it'll tell you like count the 10 circles down and like 4 circles across, and you see how like it creates this shape. And if you want to learn sacred geometry, it's going to take a while. And I think that's kind of why I decided I had to make spirit science, was I wanted to put all of it into something that people could understand easily. When I started to really understand all this stuff, I was like, I need to tell people this. I need to explain this stuff. But I wanted to explain it in a way that people would actually get. So fortunately, I've been making cartoons for a long time, so I know how to use Flash. So I was like, yeah, let's make a video series. And thus Spirit Science was born. So I want to end off today's video by saying there's only going to be 13. Don't freak out. In an octave, there are 13 notes, and then the 13th is the first in the next cycle. In Spirit Science, I'm doing 1 to 13, and then the 13th will be the first in something new, which will be more awesome and more exciting. Hopefully. For me it is. For you, maybe not. We'll see. I've got a lot of emails from people saying, can you talk about this? And teach me more about chakras and channeling and this and that and everything, right? You do it. Why not? anything related to spirituality or consciousness always gets like tucked under the rug. Like, it's just, as a global community, we don't talk about it, but we should be. It's really cool. So I guess I'll just say, if you know something about anything and you want to share it, do it.